Hey everybody, Jeff, your executive gardener. Thanks for joining me. Sorry I took a few weeks off. I was on vacation out of the country, but I'm back. Hey, so it's almost July 1st, 2015 here in Houston, Texas. Zone 8B, some parts Zone 9. And for the most part, our growing season is almost over. So there's very few things we can grow here like watermelon, okra, cucumbers, cantaloupe, those type of peppers, those type of crops that like hot weather environments. But even things like tomatoes are getting to the point where you can't grow them anymore. It's just getting too hot. So I'm getting ready to clear out all my beds, and there's kind of limited material at this time in the year. In a few weeks I'll have some more stuff. But this quick episode, I get a lot of questions about compost tea and how to make compost tea. So there's an easy way to do it. It's called steep tea. I did an earlier episode on this, but I'm going to make this episode real quick, and I'm going to show you how I make compost tea step by step, and how easy it is for you to do it and put it on your plants. Keep in mind, putting compost tea onto your plants is something you can do really every week. You can't really hurt your plants by putting too many nutrients on the plants, at least that I know of or that I've experienced. So this is a step-by-step on how to make your own steeped compost tea. Hey everyone, so this is my composter. So I think it is an AeroBin composting system. So the top comes off, you put the compost in here, and I took the bottom off. What you see here is the bottom part of the composting system with everything composted at the bottom. One of the questions I often get by people, even my mother was here this morning, she said, doesn't your compost bin stink? The answer is no. If you keep the right balance of carbon compost or materials that compost and nitrogen, it should not become anaerobic. It should not really have a smell at all, or maybe just like a dirt type smell. No odor, let's put it that way. No stinky odor. When it gets odor, sometimes you have what they call anaerobic. You have an unhealthy balance sometimes between nitrogen sources and carbon sources, but also sometimes it's just too wet. So I take this off sometimes and aerate it out. So this is my composting bin. All I do is I take a 2.5 gallon bucket. I take from the bottom a scoop of compost and stick it into the bottom of the bin here. As such, if I can get it, I'll show you what it looks like. So this is it. So you see, I don't take much. I just put a little bit at the bottom. This is again, no smell, just very rich compost. It's already got some microorganisms in it, but that's what I do. And then I take it over to the water hose. But if you look at my composting bin here, I usually obviously I put the lid back on, but I have a family of 4, and we just go through a ton of food. And inevitably we can't get to all the fruit, we can't get to all the vegetables that we eat, and it ends up going in here. Also eggshells as well, because of course calcium is an important source to your plants. In addition, we recycle all newspaper and cardboard. A lot of the newspaper and cardboard, which is your carbon source, goes in here as well, being that vegetables and fruits are your nitrogen source. So everything goes in here, and we've been doing this for 2 years. So let me show you the next steps in making compost tea. So there's really 2 types of compost tea. One's a brewed tea, and the other is a steep tea. Brewed tea involves adding aeration to it, letting it sit for 2 or 3 days. Some people strain the components that are in there. When you put compost tea, I don't do that. I have fresh compost here. I simply do the following. I add some water to a 2.5 gallon bucket. I take a old, not my wife's current spoon, but an old spoon, and I just stir it up. And stirring it up does a few things. I stir it up for about 5 minutes, but it basically gets a lot of oxygen into this and breaks up the material, the compost, really well, and does the job. So this method is called steep tea, and just give me a second here. I simply stir it up as such, and then what I do is I put it into a watering can and then I put it on my plants. So sometimes I like to add a little bit of Epsom salt because in my environment, my soil seems to get a little bit depleted of magnesium, so magnesium sulfate, so that adds some to it. In addition, one of the things you can do if you're doing brewed tea is put foliar spray, so you can spray the compost onto the leaves. It gets into the plants a lot quicker. I don't do that. I put it in the soil around the roots as such, and that's how it's done. So let me show you how I apply it to my plants, and then we'll be done. So as I mentioned, guys, not a lot in Zone 9 is going on. Very few things I can grow still. So I've got some pepper plants here. You'll see a few baby peppers coming on here. There's peppers there and so forth. So that's all I have growing right now. I don't do some things to the community garden, but not here. So really, guys, all you have to do is real simple. Is so in this I have my compost tea, and you can see it as I pour this on. It's a very dark, rich compost tea, full of all the nutrients. And I really douse it as good as I possibly can. Let it really soak in. It's just unbelievable the advantages of putting compost tea, I'd say, on a weekly basis onto your plants. All the positive nutrients that are in there really protect the plant. They help protect it from disease and so forth. So just a really good thing to do. So that's all I have for you. Compost tea. Quick video, show you how to make it. It's not a difficult thing to do. And you do it, your plants will reward you. Keep in mind, it's a great thing to do to recycle these type of the stuff that you don't use, the food that you don't use, and use it in a positive way to go back in your plants. And unlike most fertilizers, which can certainly burn plants, your compost tea will not burn plants. Now, I'm not against doing brewed compost tea, but it takes a little bit more time, a little bit more work. You need to get an aerator and so forth. But the steeped tea method is a relatively easy one. It's something you can do. This probably looks a little bit longer, but it took me, without the camera, it would take me all about 3 minutes to do it. Feed my plants and go forward. So if you have a busy schedule, which I'm sure you do like me, you don't have a lot of time to do all this other stuff, but you want to keep your plants producing fruit for you and your family going forward. So that's a quick episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you've not subscribed to my channel, please do so. We'd love to have you as part of the community. If you have questions, please send them to me. I try to answer questions for all my subscribers once a week. Love to have you part of this Executive Gardener community channel. Hope you have a great one. Take care. Bye.